Hey, it's Squiggly. I'm in the backyard enjoying a warming fire on a sunny but cool day. Recently, I joined 6 other YouTubers to each take one principle of leave no trace to describe that principle and talk about how it applies to backpackers in the backcountry. In the description of this video, you will find a list of those videos with links to go to them, and I would invite you to go check those out. Today, I wanted to talk to you about Principle 5, campfire safety. And in order to do that, I'm not going to do it here in the backyard with a fire pit. I was recently on a trip to Alabama's Sipsey Wilderness where I had these thoughts on campfire safety in the backcountry. So today, here at Alabama's Sipsey Wilderness, I want to talk to you about Principle 5 of Leave No Trace, minimize campfire impacts. So obviously, I have finished my day of hiking, I'm in camp, and I'm sitting here in front of my campfire. And you might be thinking to yourself, Squiddly, why isn't there a campfire? Well, there are a couple of really good reasons for that. One, it has been extraordinarily dry for the state of Alabama this time of year. This is the driest time of year, but even in this dry time of year, we get a little bit of rain, and we haven't seen any rain now for a couple of months. So right now there's a fire ban, and we're not allowed to have fires. And one of the most important things is to follow restrictions like that to make sure that we're not doing anything that would damage not just this wonderful, beautiful place, but the surrounding areas where wildfires can catch and then spread to other places that will impact people's homes and all sorts of resources. So campfires can cause lasting impacts on the environment. Even though we like to sit around a campfire and have a campfire when we're in camp, it's not always necessary. If we're using a camp stove and maybe have a candle lantern or just your headlamp, then maybe that's what we should be doing and avoid the campfire when it's not necessary. So for just some of the basics, use an existing fire ring. Don't create a brand new fire ring that will create a brand new scar on the environment. This area is a perfect example. This is clearly an existing fire ring. This has been used repeatedly for years. This is the place to set up a campfire. Now, this particular fire ring is overused. It needs to be rehabilitated. The ash in the center of the campfire is too high. This needs to be reduced. And so there will be at some point a crew that will come and rehabilitate this. Sometimes I do it myself, but in this particular trip, I'm not equipped for it. I don't have what I need to take all this ash out. Like I said, right now, we can't have a campfire because of an existing fire ban. But if we were going to have a fire, what are sort of some guidelines for having a fire right now that we would be able to sit around and enjoy as we enjoy the campsite tonight? Well, to begin with, we want to keep the fire as small as possible to keep it going and for it to provide the warmth and the glow that everyone enjoys with a campfire. When collecting the firewood that we're going to use for the fire, there are a couple of basic rules for what we collect. First of all, only collect wood that is dead and down. We're not going to pull even dead branches that are still attached to the tree. We're going to only collect what is dead and what is already down and on the ground. Additionally, only collect pieces that can be broken by hand. So that way we're collecting only the small stuff on the forest floor. When you're finished with your fire, make sure that you have burned all of the wood down to ash and put your campfire out completely. That means it should be cold to the touch. You should be able to touch it with your bare hand and it is cold. When having a campfire, there are some questions to consider before you do it. First of all, what is the fire danger and are there any restrictions? Like here, right now, there are restrictions in place, and what is the fire danger? It's high. Secondly, is there sufficient wood to collect firewood and it not noticeably impact the area? Right now, in this particular campsite, it's noticeable. In order to collect campfire, we would have to walk probably 30 yards away in order to find something that's dead and down to collect for firewood. Do group members possess the leave no trace skills to build a campfire and care for that fire and leave it so that you have had a campfire that leaves no trace? And finally, can the campfire sufficiently be put out after use? I have a final thought on this. This is not intended to discourage anyone from having a campfire, because let's be honest, sitting around a campfire is one of the most pleasant things about going camping. The point of this is to follow Leave No Trace guidelines and do it responsibly. Thanks for watching, and tune in tomorrow for Principle 6.